there was this comment I made, like, back in the day, like with the PS1, like when we first got our like first 3D render,
right?
And like on the N64, and then a little later on the original Xbox, we're like, man, these graphics are just like real life,
right?
And, we compare them to stuff that actually looks a little bit more like real life.
Right.
We're like, man, that's like one really, really bad one night stand.
Right.
You wake up in the morning and you're like, ugh.
It's so funny. I remember my first game playing it on the PS1, and it was too extreme, and it was on a demo disc, and I was just like, yo, this is legit real life on the screen. But now if I play it, I'm just like, what the fuck was I thinking, man? I was drunk or something. Something went wrong. What was the first game you played on PS1?
It was some snowboarding game.
Snowboarding game?
I can't remember the name of it.
Same thing.
Yeah, it was at my daycare growing up, and it was kind of more like a freestyle. You're going down slope games.
I'm trying to think of what that is.
Oh, dude, I would have no idea. But I just remember one of my friends at the daycare that I was going to hit one of the ramps and did a trick, and that's like the image is burned into my mind.
Was it SSX?
Yeah, actually.
It was SSX, yeah. See, I know the old games. I don't know the new shit. That was made by EA Big, too. But we're going to get into that a little bit later, man, because I was so mad that EA Big left. That was some bullshit, but whatever. I remember, let me ask you this. What's the most difficult game you've ever played in your life?
Most difficult?
Yeah.
Snake.
Snake?
That game's
like
hard.
on the phone?
No, not Snake.io. It's a not a Russian game.
Oh, okay.
But it's a game where you continuously get bigger and bigger and bigger.
That's like the phone, Snake.
Yeah, but you have to fill up the whole box, and you're continuously chasing a dot, and it's a certain algorithm that you have to follow to a T, or you're not going to be able to complete the game. And it's the hardest game because I don't know the algorithm.
Right.
I'd say hardest modern game, though. I don't know. I feel like a lot of modern games have toned down the difficulty. That or I've just gotten better. I don't know really what it is. But they seem to have a more straightforward path.
It's almost like they don't even concentrate on difficulty anymore. It's just about
the story.
Like the story and the wide open feel of anything's possible in these new games.
And that's really cool. And that's why I like a lot of RPGs. You get to go out, you do your own thing. Like you forge your own alliances, you burn certain bridges with certain factions and piss the right people off, and you get a certain reward from this other faction that you haven't even met yet, but they know you because you went and burned something down. But just some about open field RPGs is just it catches on nowadays.
I remember being a kid, and to this day I can't find this fucking game. It was on an old Apple computer, like really old. Like I must have been in first grade, maybe second grade. But I remember once we get our work done, we can go play a game for 5-10 minutes or something like that until the next subject comes up. But it was called Tank, but it was so interesting. It was just so simple, but it was about finding a specific red dot, and it was just shooting it with a tank. It was the funnest shit ever. I remember that. I remember, have you ever heard of Super Muncher? That's you gotta look it up. It was like a learning game, but man, it was hard as hell at the time. But I just remember being really, really good at it. Super Muncher. Wow. Found out later on they had an older version called Number Munchers. So weird.
Yeah, that sounds like a learning game.
Right, it's definitely a learning game, but I wish I could find it so I can give it to my son at a certain age so he can start learning shit really quick. Just thought that was interesting. One thing I found out about the first game credited was Pong. That remember what we was talking about where they had glitches and different mistakes or whatever, and then there was stuff that they put there, Easter eggs put there. But this one, it turned out to be a mistake that the the paddle didn't go all the way up to the top and all the way to the bottom, but it turned out to make the game better. I figured, like, I wonder, does that happen now, like with new games?
Glitches?
Yeah, no, I mean like when they make mistakes that make the game better.
Oh, well, yeah. There's a game called Super Smash Bros. Melee for the Nintendo GameCube, and that game is littered with things that are like that. There's this technique called wave dashing in Melee. It's where you do a short jump, and then you immediately air dodge down at an angle. Okay. And what it does is it moves you, and it spaces you out, and you can control the amount of space that you put in between, or with each wave dash too.
Right.
And it's really useful at a competitive level and when you're playing with friends because it gives you an extra edge. But the designers of Melee said that was not supposed to be in the game.
Right.
But it made it, I guess it made it better. And there were certain, there's another thing called L canceling.
I have no idea what that is.
It's a thing that's not supposed to be in there, but it's in there. And it makes the game easier.
Dope.
But it makes it harder at the same time because it's another input you have to learn.
Dope.
And it's a tight timing. It's a couple frames of the game.
That's funny because I remember being a kid and going over to my friend's house. My friend is funny because this is going to sound so crazy if you don't know the guy. But we were all maybe 10 or 11. This dude was like 20. but he was like to this day, he hasn't completely like grown up. Like he still rides a bike all the time with a game console in his backpack. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, like we're peers. You know what I'm saying? And this dude used to go crazy. Like he used to hit his TV with a bat, all type of shit, yell at the TV. He's just nuts. Little small ass guy. But
it sounds a lot like some of my friends that I play
man,
League
it's
with.
hilarious.
Like, they're screaming at their monitors, they're screaming in my ears.
Right.
And I'm like, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say I haven't raged at a game before.
Man.
I mean, I have, but like when you're experiencing someone else doing it, it's just the funniest
shit ever, right? Well, he used to play Killer Instinct, and he was just so good at Killer Instinct. It was almost like he had a cheat code for combos or something like that. Like the ultra combo used to be like 60 hit, 80 hit combo. This dude would do like 200 hit combos. Like what the hell? How is this even possible? Like in the middle of a combo, he'll hit another button or something, and then it just start all over. I'm like, how am I supposed to beat you, man? You're incredible.
Some people are just like that.
I think that might be a glitch too. Like I don't think that's possible, man. You're not supposed to be able to do that shit. I used to think that all the time.
I know in the new Tekken, once you kill someone, you can keep juggling them until you drop your juggle too.
See,
like
that's that bullshit, man. Yeah. Why you gotta rub it in?
Like, yeah, you won. Okay, you can put me down.
Like, right. I hate people that do that.
I played a match online. The guy carried me around for like 5 minutes. I'm like, dude, you just want me to leave or something? So I disconnected from the match. I'm like, I'm not fucking with that anymore.
Yeah, hey, for a minute, I'm an asshole. So I used to play Tekken just to do the same move over and over again with people online and just hear them get mad, talk shit. Fucking noob. Yo, that's where I got my enjoyment from. I'm an asshole. It's not my fault.
Pissing people off. I mean, like, that's part of online gaming. Like,
right.
I've kind of learned
fucking noob.
that it's just not. It's best to just let it blow over. Yeah, people spam the same thing.
Right. That spam shit is no joke. But it's funny that you say that because I had this one friend, and that was the only way I could beat him in Mortal Kombat 3 on Sega. This dude was incredible. Knew all of the fatalities, babalities, animalities, friendships, and could just do it. And then he'll talk shit the whole time. I used to be so pissed. Go to his house, be so pissed, man. I just had to keep jumping up, kicking, and just to beat him. But
hey, if he can't play around it, then that's on him, man.
Right. That's why I used to tell him all the time. But He eventually figured out a way once he got smoked. So
yeah. My friend Nathan, I played MK9 with him for a bit when that was the latest Mortal Kombat.
Oh my
He came over with his PS3.
You're speaking foreign language to me right now.
Mortal Kombat
9. I didn't even know one existed.
Well, he made Scorpion. Like, I was the only character he could play. It's the only character he played, and he would just spam the teleport. Right. And it just damaged you, and it was fucking stupid. Right. Because he's like, well, find a way to beat it. And I'm like, you can, because you're fucking teleporting. Eventually, I played Sub-Zero. Right. I got a ranged hit off on him, and then I dashed over to him, and I started wailing on him. He's like, I can't get out of this. And I'm like, teleport away then, bitch.
Exactly.
I finally got you, and I hit him with another ranged hit. And then it became a thing of, all right, well, if he's going to keep teleporting, I'm just going to keep throwing shit at you.
Right. What's, what would you say is, what would you change about gaming now? Like,
now?
And what they're putting out and what's popular, like, what would you change?
Depends on what you mean, what would I change? And like an online setting or?
Either way, because to me, I just think there's too many point of view shooting games. I hate that shit, man.
Shooters, I don't know. Shooters need to like not die out completely, but
they need to tone down.
Right.
Like that's been the main genre forever. I mean, I get the like thrill of it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like
it's redundant.
Yeah.
It's the same old thing, especially all the Call of Duties. I know y'all gonna hate me for that, but the Call of Duties are just...
They can hate me for it, too. I am not a fan of COD. I think it's mainly because I'm really bad at first-person shooters.
Right. Me too. I think that has something to do with it. I'm just like, all right, we've been running around for 2 hours shooting each other. Let's do something else. Tired of this shit.
I enjoyed, like, Black Ops Zombies. Like, that was cool. Like,
yeah,
I got a lot of enjoyment out of that, but I don't know. It's just something... And... the only first-person shooter I was good at was Destiny.
Okay.
And that was it.
Okay.
Because it was more of an MMO than a...
Right.
Like, just PvP shitfest.
My first one was Nintendo 64 007 GoldenEye. Man, that used to be the shit. You just get the AR or the gold gun and just go crazy, the rocket sniper. Launcher. Right. That used to be the shit for a minute.
Tucker and I were talking about GoldenEye today on day shift.
Yeah. What about it?
He would always challenge people. Like, this is what he told me. He's like, we're going to go to, I don't remember what map it was. He's like, but snipers only. That's the only guns we can use. It's the only way I could guarantee a win.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, I see you.
Right. That's tough, dude. Those games used to be so tough, like just playing with certain friends. But I just think what they lost is like that perfect balance of a game being difficult and fun at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we always talk about Sonic Adventure, but I remember being a kid and trying my best, almost to the point where I was crying, to beat Contra. Dude, Contra Hardcore. I'm like, why the fuck did they market this shit to kids? Shit was too damn hard. Like, I couldn't even get past the first level. Like, I remember hearing Dwayne talk about it, and Dwayne said he got past like the third level, but that's all he could do. Dude, why is it so damn difficult?
I don't know. I never played Contra, but I've heard. I was in Perryville, and there's a game shop up there that one of my friends runs.
Oh, that's cool. Did it loosen up?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, it's cool.
My friend Brian runs it, and I was talking to him about Contra since you brought it up at work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so I've had like 3 or 4 people tell me how fucking hard this game is. Right. He's like, I beat it. It took me 2 months to get it past one level. And I'm like, how long did it take you to beat the game? He's like, it took me a good 4 months.
I was about to say, if he beat it in 2 months, he's good. But
yeah, no, and don't get me wrong, Brian's a better gamer than I am.
Yeah.
Hands down. But for him to say that it took him a couple months to beat a game, and I mean, he usually takes his time and goes through it, and it takes him about a month to get through an Assassin's Creed that's super open world.
Yeah, yeah.
For him to say a game was that hard that it took him 2 months to get past one level, Yeah, fuck that noise, dude.
Right. I don't even want to play it. Like, I still have it. It's in my truck right now. And I'm just like, fuck this fucking game. I just want to frisbee this shit out the window. Right? I hate that shit, man. I'm like, why did they make it so difficult? I remember playing on Dreamcast. What was it called? Marvel vs. Capcom. To beat Onslaught is fucking impossible, man. Like, I remember one day, literally, it took me about probably 6 or 7 hours just to beat one dude. And I remember when I beat it, my hair and my fingers hurt. You know what I'm saying? Chest beating hard. And I'm just like, oh shit, I beat it.
All that work.
Right.
All right, what's next?
Right. I'm like, man, fuck it. I'm the greatest ever. I'm like, nobody can beat this shit.
I was talking to a friend of mine on that Discord app that I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing a quest in World of Warcraft. And this big-ass Kraken pops up out of the water. Mm. And I'm like, and my first reaction, I'm like, holy fuck, that thing's huge. Mm. And then, like, I shit you not, like 2 seconds later, are we going to fight it? I really want to fight that.
Yeah, man. These games are crazy. I was, it's funny that we were speaking on that because I used to be so mad that I couldn't find a cheat code for Contra. Like, at the time they were out there, but it's like they had little magazines at Hastings called Tips and Tricks and shit like that.
Fucking rip Hastings.
Right. They would never ever have anything about Contra. So I remember the first time I got a Game Genie. So I'm like, oh shit, what's up now, Contra? Man, I put in the code. I got like a couple levels up. There was something about just saying, you know what, I'm a bitch because I just couldn't beat this without cheat codes.
Dude, there's games I play that are more puzzle games than anything. Mm. And like I'll get stuck on a level. I'll be there for like 6 or 7 days and I'll try anything I can.
Right.
Like just going through my options and then
right.
I find out it's just something I sequenced wrong. Like
Right.
And then it gets to the point to where like I can't figure out the sequence I need to do this in. Mm. So I'll just go look it up.
Right. But that's
we all do it.
I'm older than him, so I remember trying to game without internet. Try that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I get it.
Like I remember the first time I found an internet site with cheat codes. It was called it was ccc.com, Cheat Code Central, and that was my only way of getting through Sonic Adventure.
Really?
I couldn't figure out certain things. I'm like, okay, so am I supposed to go here, there, other? I remember buying an actual guide to get me through the game.
My biggest thing with Sonic Adventure was the part where you got to play Big, that big old cat guy with the fishing pole.
Right.
I couldn't figure out how to unlock him.
Dude.
That was the part that stumped me as a kid for a long-ass time. And then finally, I'm just exploring. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to go run around the map. See where I can go.
That's what I had to do for the whole game, pretty much.
I mean, the exploration of that game and the pretty much single line or single plot line.
Right.
Those are games I enjoy.
Yeah, me too. It's not too difficult, but you're figuring it out as you go.
Yeah, I wish Sonic Adventure 2, the one that they put out.
I never played that one. I wish
it would have mimicked the first one more than what it did.
Okay. I heard that they kind of went back to the old school format, just straight line, no big world.
Yep, it was you did a level and it was a straight shot through the entire thing.
Gotcha.
But it didn't have that open world experience that I was really looking for in it. And I mean, don't get me wrong, that almost made my top 10 list.
I heard the reason why they did that was because of the added characters. Like, you were pretty much limited to 1 gig per day.
Salute you!